Hi, my name is John Freeman. I'm the Faculty Quality Coordinator here in Health and Wellbeing. I'm going to run you through the process on extenuating circumstances. Here's my email address. If you have any questions, please do get in touch. But certainly look out for sessions throughout the year on extenuating circumstances. This presentation will obviously be available along with the PowerPoint online as well. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to get in touch. Okay, what is extenuation? Okay, well, basically, it's a process by which students who are struggling in some way, who are experiencing unexpected and exceptional circumstances, can come to us for help in managing a piece of coursework, essentially. So it's a policy designed to support students who experience unexpected and unanticipated difficulties which adversely affect either their performance with a piece of coursework or their ability to sit or complete it. Okay, well, what kind of difficulties? Well, they can range. They're many and varied. And if in any doubt, seek advice. So it's good advice to encourage a student to approach their student support officer if there is one available for the course. Or somebody from Hallam Union from the Student Advice Centre. They have drop-in every afternoon, I think, so it's a service that's easy to access. What are the key issues? Well, of course, it's important to be fair and equitable to all. Most of our students are able to submit coursework on time and in the normal way. A small number of students aren't able to do that, but we need to be fair to them and the vast majority of students who have submitted on time. It's important to try to understand the issues involved, have a balanced discussion and address the students' needs. The EC panel is bound by case law, so any decision we make has to be accountable in terms of case law. We find the strength of evidence extremely important as well. I will come back to that in a few moments. And the student support officers themselves play a key role in this. Okay, so there are three types of support. I'm going to run through these briefly. The first one is where a student has a problem affecting their deadline, for a piece of coursework, and often an extension will cover that. So encourage the students to use the extension process if needs be. They'll need reasons and there's a process to follow, but that is a straightforward process. Okay, so extenuation is the second type of support. So this is a problem affecting a student's ability to engage with an assessment, or they may underperform. Okay, so I'm going to run through how to do that in a few moments. The third type of support is one where a student is unable to continue their studies or assessment during an academic year, and a break in study or temporary withdrawal may be advisable. Okay, so students who are contemplating this clearly need to be strongly advised to seek advice pretty much immediately from a student support officer or other relevant faculty staff. Okay, why do we need a policy? Well, it is so that we can offer support to students affected, explain the various routes and systems we have for supporting students, and it's to ensure the student's fully aware of all of those processes, and also for fairness, consistency, tracking and monitoring as well. We're accountable to our external partners and, also to external examiners and PSRBs and so on. So it's important we have a policy in place that we adhere to very closely. What is the process? Okay, well, students experiencing exceptional difficulties should be advised to seek advice from a student support officer. Often they'll approach a friendly person, whoever that is, a lecturer or academic advisor. There is an EC policy online. It's on ShoeSpace. It's on every single ShoeSpace page right at the bottom under rules and regulations, so it's not hard to find. The student themselves can ascertain whether their circumstances match the criteria, and if yes, decide to apply for ECs. They will need verifiable evidence that their circumstances have had a demonstrable adverse effect on their academic performance and that the timing is linked to the assessment dates as well. If all of that is the case, the student can submit a completed EC1 form. Okay, just a note on confidentiality. Students experience all manner of distressing and personal circumstances. We understand that. The EC process is a highly confidential one at all levels. And actually, just as a note, the EC panel itself, the panel members don't actually even have access to the name of the student being considered. They simply see the student number and the course that they're on and a little bit of information about the circumstances. but the student's name themselves is not divulged beyond the panel chair and panel secretary actually. And while I'm talking about confidentiality, if the student really is very concerned about that and has extra information that they only want to divulge into the panel chair, that can be done as well. So previously, we've read detailed reports, for example, from medics or a psychiatrist about a student's background and their mental health. Well, that can have a higher level of confidentiality, so that it really is just seen by the panel chair and the panel secretary. And panel members are reminded very carefully about confidentiality as well. So the EC panel has full delegated authority to make decisions on ECs. Timing is important because these happen on a monthly basis. Evidence does need to be valid. It's important to see supporting documentation as well, and obviously, as I've said, that can be handled highly confidentially. There are a number of outcomes. We accept the vast majority of EC claims because they're straightforward and evidence is good, and that's absolutely fine. If a claim is accepted, a student can take a deferral attempt if they do so. Sometimes students will take an extenuated pass. That means that they've had a claim for ECs accepted, but they're happy to take the pass mark that they actually achieved, and that's perfectly fine. That'll be recorded as an extenuated pass of the board. If the panel decides that circumstances aren't valid, the claim won't be accepted. The mark received by the subject assessment board will stand. It could be that a student could reapply and with further evidence, and sometimes the panel does require that new evidence is sought and submitted by the student. In terms of the issues that we find, well, the nature of the evidence supporting the claim does need to be as clear as it can be. So encourage the student to provide for us clear, demonstrable, verifiable evidence of the impact of their circumstances on their ability to prepare for or submit a piece of coursework. We need to understand that. The quality of the evidence is therefore very, very important, and it does vary enormously. So I will sometimes not divulge certain information to the panel. That is often information about the impact of this on the student. So it really is information is shared with the panel on a need-to-know basis only. The discussion at the panel and the pre-panel actually is very, very balanced, and we do try to take into account the students' needs and address those. So the constitution of the panel comes from across the faculty, and it's very important that that's the case, that we have a wide range of expert opinion. We are bound by case law, and so decisions that we make are subject to case law. We do find that feedback from the SSOs on the form, so the support of a student support officer is absolutely key, and we take very seriously the recommendations that the SSOs provide, and also provide feedback back to the SSOs after the panel as well. Recently, we've opened up the panels, and they've been open to observation from student support officers as well. Again, highly confidential, but that's allowed us to gain some really good feedback about the conduct of the panels themselves, which is great. Okay, so hopefully that's been useful for you in terms of your understanding about extenuating circumstances, but you know where we are if you need any help at all, so please do get in touch. Thank you.